one of the highest ROI things in my life. Training with you has completely changed everything. This podcast is a full breakdown on performance. Everything you need to perform at your peak. Bi'idhnillahi ta'ala.
It's not an 8-week transformation or a 12-week transformation and get me a picture and I'll show you the before and after. That's not what we're here for.
I'm not an athlete, I'm a businessman. I only care about my health as much as it gives me the opportunity to do more things in life and grow. I still want to eat the things I like. I don't want to have to change my whole regime. Give me the path.
Absolutely. Then fighting, there's a technical side, there's a physical side, and there's a tactical side. And you can relate this to business.
I was like, bro, you look hella fresh. What happened to you? I swear by Allah, I didn't know he'd done the session with you yet. Because you look hella fresh. Yeah, bro, I seen Youcef. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Guys, I'm here with a special guest, Youcef. Coach Youcef.
Assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
How you doing, akhi? You good?
Alhamdulillah, bro. Alhamdulillah.
I'm just going to let you guys know, this podcast, we're going to drop the full gem in terms of health, performance, everything for entrepreneurs. How does an entrepreneur perform at his peak? Youcef, alhamdulillah, Allah barak, is a performance coach like myself. And of course, he has the MMA aspect in detail. You know, he's worked with, like I said, the finest, and he is a fighter as well. So he understands how to manage energy, etc. So the goal of what we want to make this podcast is a full breakdown on performance. Everything you need to perform at your peak. Bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. So for those of you who don't know Youcef, you must be living on that rock. But alhamdulillah, Coach Youcef is our MMA coach. He's coaching Dubai's finest currently, alhamdulillah. He made the move recently, and wallahi, I think you're probably, Allah barak, and may Allah increase you, the person I've seen that like just hit the ground running. Allah barak. As soon as you landed, you're just doing phenomenal, and I think that goes to, you know, show your kind of motivation and your drive as an individual as well, alhamdulillah, and your expertise in what you do. So I'll give you a chance to even better introduce yourself, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, than I could ever. So please, bro, tafaddal. Who's Youcef?
So my name is Youcef. I'm from Dublin, Ireland, originally from Algeria, and I'm a professional MMA fighter and an elite performance coach for entrepreneurs.
Allah barak, Allah barak. Sick, bro. So Youcef, you and I haven't even known each other that long, in truth, now that I thought about it. You know, when I was actually going through to prepare for the podcast, I actually deeped it. Like, I think it was after Ramadan, meaning it was like March or something, right? It
actually was.
So it's been about 6 months, if anything. Now, how we actually met each other was a bit unorthodox. I feel like we clicked instantly, bro. Alhamdulillah, as soon as we met. It was just straight away, bro. I remember I looked over at Muhammad. I was like, bro, I love this guy. I love that. So we actually met for the Morocco retreat. So talk to us. How did you find the retreat? And how did you even end up at the retreat? Because a little birdie said it was pretty random.
It was completely random. You reached out to me, I think it was 2 or 3 days before the retreat, and you asked me to come out and help the brothers with a bit of coaching, teach them some MMA and do some classes together. And I was a bit iffy at the start. I wasn't too sure if I wanted to get down. There was no notice. I was thinking, I might just give it a skip. But then, subhanAllah, I just took a leap of faith. I said, let's go. Let's see what comes out of it. And here we are. Yeah,
Allah barak. So, yeah, this is what Coach Youcef is actually talking about, is a podcast, retreat, we do.
Yes.
Every year we do, sometimes two, 3 times a year. And it's for entrepreneurs, right? Elite performers, etc. And we bring them all together. And rather than discussing business and blah, 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 like your usual masterminds, it's more like a mental retreat, like turning yourself into a different monster. Some of the things we've done was obviously the intensive trainings, the 5Ks constantly in the morning, evening, and of course the time where we tied the hands and the feet together and threw them in the pool, in the deep end. Right? So alhamdulillah, it's pretty intensive. Now, Allah barak, looking back at Morocco, did that retreat have an impact on you?
Absolutely. I got to network and meet some very good brothers, alhamdulillah, like yourself, like Imran, and like the other individuals that were there, and just changed my perspective on a lot of things, especially when it comes to the deen, when it comes to business, when it comes to training, even lifestyle. So yeah, opened up, it sparked a lot of thoughts in my mind.
Allah bet. And why do you think, obviously, the retreat had such a great impact?
Because of the brothers that were there. The brothers that were there and what was getting taught to us in the masterminds. So I attended the masterminds, although I wasn't even I was part of the team. I was supposed to be a coach. I still attended the masterminds, and a lot of things clicked. I related to a lot of things because the lifestyle and the health aspect of things I actually implement already as a fighter. So I related to that aspect of things, and then the business aspect of things was something completely new to me, and it really resonated with me. And I wanted to dive in deeper and learn more.
Yeah.
And here we are.
I remember after the Morocco trip, all I could think was, somehow I'm gonna have to get this guy to move to Dubai.
Forget after, during the Morocco trip. Forget after.
During the trip, after you trained, we were training the first day because we had like a little pre-session before the retreat actually started.
Exactly.
Where we were hitting the pads and stuff, and I remember I was just thinking like, I'm gonna need to get this guy to move to Dubai. You know, I've trained with a lot of different coaches in different things, and you know, I must say we will go into the depth in detail later about the importance of a good coach, etc. But I must say, like, Allah Barik, I've never been with such a coach when it comes to fighting, to training, that is as good as yourself, right? And it's different for someone, an individual, to be well versed at what they do versus actually being well versed and being able to coach and transform that energy into someone else. So I must say that is something that I definitely gained from you. But you know, what was the biggest mental shift you had to make when you wanted to move to Dubai?
Do you know what? It was just seeing the benefits of what moving here, seeing the benefits that I would get from moving here. You know, being around good brothers, being in a Muslim environment, being around like-minded brothers and who are driven, who are striving to reach the same goals in their own fields. So yeah, that definitely helped me and encouraged me in that sense. And of course, making hijrah fi sabilillah, that was massive.
Alhamdulillah. Right, perfect. So yeah, inshallah, we're going to talk about Dubai and everything, the current situation, much later, inshallah. But we'll actually kick it off and go straight into the health and performance, right? So one of the things, obviously, as well, when it comes to Live by Design and the clients we work with, that we're absolutely big on is health.
Yes.
And one of the things that I constantly repeat is health is like the table that everything stands on. Whatever you care about, including your deen,
100%.
Your health plays a massive factor in that, right? If you're not healthy, you can't worship Allah to the best of your ability. You can't grow your business. You can't, you know, scale your business to the level that you would desire. It's hard to, you know, spend time with family when you're not at 100%. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
So health is one of the biggest things. And when you look at businessmen, I think a huge thing you have to consider is a lot of our work is mental.
Absolutely.
An athlete, everything to, like, of course, you do have the mental elements, which are huge.
Yes.
But for a businessman, it's completely mental, right? It's completely mental.
Absolutely.
The decisions you make in the business, you know, everything you're doing, it's the mental side, right? And I think one thing people don't consider is the mental and the physical are directly correlated as well.
Absolutely.
Right? And if your body isn't at a high level physically, it's hard to be at a high level mentally.
Absolutely.
And what do you see in terms of the entrepreneurs when you're training them? What are some insights and things that you've noticed in terms of like health and it playing an impact on their business, etc.?
So what I've noticed is that a lot of them just don't have the knowledge. They don't know that the impact of not looking after their health and looking after their fitness, the type of impact it's having on their mental performance and on their performance in their business. They think there's a distinction in between the two, whereas they actually work hand in hand. And that lack of knowledge is the biggest thing that I found.
But if you had to break it down, right, and you had to say, these are 3 non-negotiables every entrepreneur needs in order to perform at a high level, what would be those 2 or 3 things?
Your sleep, your diet, and your training. All 3, and they all work hand in hand. So if you neglect one, the other 2 are going to suffer. If you neglect your sleep, your diet, and your training are going to suffer. And likewise for all 3.
Allah Barik. I love that you said that, right? The 3 key things: sleep, nutrition, and exercise, right?
Absolutely.
For me, one of the biggest things, and I would love to hear your perspective on this, whenever I've seen clients that suffer in terms of nutrition, they tell me, Fawaz, I struggle to stay consistent in terms of diet. And Fawaz, I struggle with sleep and health in general. For me, the first thing I always try to fix with clients is actually their sleep, right?
Yeah.
Because I believe when a man isn't sleeping, like we said, his cognitive performance, and this is science here, not even my words, there's multiple studies done, Harvard business studies done as they even employees and how their performance suffers, their cognitive performance suffers. When your cognitive performance suffers, you make far less effective decisions.
Absolutely. And not only your cognitive performance, but also your testosterone production and your growth hormone production as well. Much lower.
SubhanAllah.
That has a major impact on your decision making throughout the day.
Exactly. And this is exactly what I was going to say. So it's like, I haven't met anyone that doesn't know what foods are good or bad to eat.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not
No-brainer.
saying the details like we would know, like certain complex carbs. And then, of course, maybe they don't have knowledge on that. But a lot of people know what is good food versus bad food.
Absolutely.
And I've never met a human being that says, no, you don't need to work out or you don't need to exercise. That I haven't met this. But why don't people do it, in my opinion, and I would love to hear on thoughts on this, I believe it's because of a lack of poor, when you get bad sleep, you make poor decisions. So although you know this is good to eat and this is what's going to help you, you don't make that right choice.
Absolutely.
You're making more poor decisions, right?
Absolutely.
So you pick up the unhealthy food because it's more convenient, etc. Why? Because again, lack of sleep, bad decision making.
Exactly.
You're like,
Sugar cravings are through the roof.
Exactly.
That's it.
I'm not going to training today because, well, why would I go training? There's no
I didn't
need.
sleep well. I already didn't eat well also. So the training, I might as well just skip on that one today. We'll start again tomorrow.
So if you had to give an entrepreneur who was struggling right now with his sleep, tell me, why do you believe, and do you even believe that sleep is the biggest investment? And if so, why?
Sleep is the number one. Just like you said, spot on. Sleep is number one. People spend so much money on massage therapists, on recovery tools, and this new recovery equipment, this new fad system. Sleep is the number one tool for recovery. Number one.
I tell you how many times I've seen these guys that, take all these supplements, but they don't get good sleep.
They don't sleep well. They don't eat well, but they take supplements. Supplements are just that. They're a supplement to your lifestyle, to your lifestyle habits that you've built. Okay? They don't replace your good sleep. They don't replace your good diet. They don't replace your training. They're there just to aid you and to act as a supplement for the sleep and the diet that you already have.
Of course.
Yeah.
So if you had to give an entrepreneur right now, like who's struggling with sleep, struggling to be consistent, what would you say to him? Like, here's how you get to bed on time. Here's how you maintain good sleep. You get good recovery.
So first thing, limit caffeine at least 8 hours before bed. At the very least. I like to go midday, 12 o'clock, stop caffeine. Okay? Second thing, no phone for 90 minutes before bed. Third thing, the last meal that you eat should be 3 hours before bed. You don't want to go to bed with a belly full of food, and then you're not going to be getting good sleep, good quality sleep. You want to be getting good deep sleep. That's where your muscles are going to recover. Okay, that's where your brain and your muscles recover. So you want to make sure you're getting good deep sleep.
Barakallah feek, bro. That is a very simple framework to follow.
3 simple steps.
I actually can't tell you how many people have just, every time I speak to them about sleep, even they give me all these like stupid, crazy things. And I love that. Just don't eat a couple hours before bed, okay? Once you do get to bed, right, just try not to use your phone 90 minutes prior.
Absolutely.
Like it's a simple framework.
And another one, important one as well, is dim lights. Dim lights. That's it. 90 minutes before
100%.
bed, no phones and dim lights. Dark rooms.
I remember I actually used to, when I was staying with the brothers in Egypt, right? Because, whenever I stay with the brothers, I have to get them to live by my design. Because, of course, mine's the best.
Of course. Design master.
At Maghrib, I'm like, bro, turn off all the lights in the house. They're there walking around in like basically darkness in the house. And they don't understand how much like it improves your sleep quality.
Absolutely.
Right? But yeah, the reason I actually wanted to go into this is because I can't tell you how many times like I see entrepreneurs, they don't get the work done and then they spend nighttime doing the work. And I would actually really love to talk about this, right? What people don't realize is stop looking at rest. This whole thing of I'll rest when I'm dead or, rest is for the weak. Just shut up. Like it's absolute nonsense. In truth, rest is one of the most important things if you want to be successful. All right? And I think people need to start changing how they view rest. It's an investment, not a reward. You don't rest because, I got a lot of work done today, so I'm going to rest. That's not how you should see it. This is the thing that's going to allow you to get good quality work done.
Absolutely.
So sometimes I see entrepreneurs staying up late because they're like, but I don't sleep until the work is done.
And it's about the quality of work. What type of quality is the work going to be if you're up until 2, 3, 4 in the morning getting work done?
Barakallah feek. And this is where I always talk about the law of diminishing returns, right?
Absolutely.
So initially, it's beneficial, it's worthy, but it gets to a certain hour where you're still staying up and you're still trying to work and get things done where it's actually like, now it's actually negatively impacting you. Now the quality of work that you're going to get done, it would be so much better for you to go to sleep and wake up in the morning. And I think something people have to notice is if you look at the Quran, and I remember I was researching this, subhanAllah, why is it that Allah, every time Allah mentions night and day, he starts with the night? if you look at it, the thing that is imperative in having a successful day is going to be the night before, right?
Absolutely.
So subhanAllah, it's like, and we know Islamically the day starts at Maghrib,
Yes.
right? It's a new day from Maghrib time. And this is what I tell people to actually use the intellect and think here, right? Do a bit of tadabbur. Why is it that Allah starts with the night? Because if your night is successful, you're far more likely as well to have what? A successful day.
Absolutely.
Right? But if your night is bad, we can only express what's going to happen. So guys, close your eyes after that. Shares what Youcef's telling you. Okay, fine. So what's the real difference? And this is something we're going to go into. Let's go into the next session in terms of diet. Okay? Let's give an entrepreneur, I don't have time for all the fancy bougie stuff, etc.
Yes.
Give me a simple framework I can follow to make sure I'm eating in a way that is going to help me.
Yes.
Right? I still want to eat the things I like. I don't want to have to change my whole regime. Give me the path.
Absolutely. So the 80-20 rule. 80% whole nutrition foods, and then 20% you can have your processed foods, you can have your chocolates, you can have your pizzas, you can have the foods that you like to eat, your family dinners. But 80% of the time, what you do 80% of the time is ultimately what matters. It's not the one day in the week or the one bad dinner that's gonna cause you to go off track. As long as you stay on track for 80% of the time, you're good.
I love that. Yeah, I can't tell you how many times, like, for me, I've made the conscious decision to just cut it out completely.
Yeah.
Right? But
unrealistic.
I don't believe everyone needs to do it.
Yeah.
Right? I don't believe every single person can do it. Like, I'm not going to lie to you, I genuinely don't like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I genuinely don't like fast food. I don't enjoy it.
Yeah.
And even when I'm in situations where I have to eat it, I just quickly regret it.
The thing is, most people do.
Exactly.
Most people do, and most people, it's unrealistic to tell them, cut it out completely. It's just unrealistic. That's why you need to work with it. Don't try to avoid it, just work with it.
I love that. I love that you mentioned that. And that's, for me, that's definitely beautiful. I mean, if you're eating clean 80% of the time, the one odd night where, you know, the brothers are out and you have to have like maybe a burger, etc., it's not going to destroy you.
And this can be not only one night, this can be on a day-to-day basis. If all day you eat good, whole, nutritious foods, and then you have a night craving, you like to have something sweet, maybe you have a small ice cream or chocolate every day of the week, 6 days a week. If 80% of what you ate that day was good, you're allowed to have that sweet treat. That's what I'm trying to explain.
I love that. Exactly. That. Perfect. Okay. And the last one is movement, right? How much does a entrepreneur actually need to move and be conscious of his, you know, blood, obviously keeping the blood flowing and keeping the muscles warm? How much of that needs to be done in order for him to, again, maintain this high level of performance?
You need to move daily. So daily movement, okay? I'm not saying you need to work out like a madman every single day or run a triathlon, or I'm not saying any of that, but you need to get some sort of movement daily. This can be as simple as just a walk. A 15, 20 minute walk every day is gonna have massive benefits to your mood, to your cognitive function, not feeling sluggish, massive rewards. Okay? And then training, you're looking to exercise 2 to 3 times a week is more than enough.
Allah barik, barakallah fiqh. I think what I've kind of got from this, and the next question I actually want to ask you, will kind of sum up the thing I want everyone watching to notice as well. We've had a lot of conversations. You've been back and forth online with some bodybuilders and stuff like that. Don't worry, I find the sport absolutely wet as well. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I think everyone knows my opinion.
You're one of the good ones.
Everyone knows my opinion on bodybuilding. And for those who don't know, I've tasted what that side of life looks like before. You know, initially when I started uni, that was the lifestyle, right? The bodybuilder lifestyle. I had a lot more mass. You know, I was a lot less flexible. But, you know, I lived it. So what's the real difference between training for aesthetics and training for performance? And why does it matter for a CEO?
So training for aesthetics is good for the mirrors. It's good to look at yourself and like what you see. But training for performance is actually functional. You actually get to put it to use in your day-to-day life. You're training for long-term health and not just for looking good in the mirror. This is going to improve your cognitive function. It's going to improve your mood, your energy levels throughout the day.
Bro, subhanAllah, I think if you look at the theme in regards to diet, exercise and sleep, I think it all goes back to intentionality, right?
Absolutely.
It's like understanding what is your goal, and this is why I tell people, don't eat for enjoyment, eat for fuel, for performance, right?
Absolutely.
80% of the time, at least anyway, right? Where if you spend majority of your time thinking, okay, how do I eat? How do I exercise in a way? Not trying to exercise and do madness and lift crazy things. No, what is my goal? Okay, my goal primarily is to build a successful business.
Absolutely.
And to get closer to Allah. Okay, so let me align my training with that. I don't need to train like a crazy individual. I don't need to sleep like a crazy individual. No, I'm just aligning myself with my goals. So I'm being intentional. What's the goal I want to achieve? And how do I make sure I'm totally aligned to achieving it?
That's it. And myself being an athlete, I understand my goals are completely different to my clients' goals. Completely different. But I try to give them at least the bare minimum for them to optimize their performance in their business and in their dealings.
Yeah, and may Allah bless you, bro. I'm not going to lie. This is something I really appreciate about you versus different coaches. You know, I've seen coaches and they're just recommending all this and do this and measure this and X, Y, Z. I'm like, bro, like, I don't have time for this.
Absolutely.
I'm not an athlete. I'm a businessman. I only care about my health as much as it gives me the opportunity to do more things in life and grow.
Absolutely.
Not looking like some, potato spud in the mirror or muscles sticking out my ears. Or I don't care about any of those things, and I can't tell you how many coaches have put me off health, subhanAllah, right? But yeah, I really appreciate you mentioning that, bro.
Because what I like to do is I like to give people lifestyle habits that they can implement, long-term sustainable lifestyle habits. It's not an 8-week transformation or a 12-week transformation and get me a picture and I'll show you the before and after. That's not what we're here for. We're just trying to look at your lifestyle, tweak a few bits here and there, give you better lifestyle habits, and then reassess and go forward every week.
Allah barik. I love that feedback, Luz. Hell. Okay, so let's talk about this, because I'm not going to lie to you guys. I have to confess, if I was to drop the amount of money I spend on my health, I think the audience would go crazy. If my family was watching, they'd go crazy. I spend a lot of money in my health. I can sit here and honestly say, majority of my money that I spend goes towards my health. My expenses in a month are towards my health, and it's not something I will ever seek to negotiate on. I make sure I eat the best foods, highest quality foods. I don't look at the price tag when it comes to my health. I make sure I invest in the highest quality coaches like yourself when it comes to things like health. And I make sure all the materials, my apartment, everything is in a way that really takes care of my health. I'm super health conscious and, if you will, a health fanatic, okay? Not in the wet way where people go extreme overboard, but in the conservative way where it's like I care about my health and I care about, longevity, right? And I remember this, subhanAllah, my dad, I just obviously got back from Nigeria after 13 years. And I really got to spend time with my dad, because obviously whenever I'd spend time with him in the island, he's living according to our systems, right? But when I was living with him in Niger for the 2-3 weeks, I'm able to see how he lives. And he's super health conscious now, right? Super health, more than he's ever been. And I remember he was speaking to me and he goes, look, I don't care. He was showing me some exercise machines and things he just purchased. He's like, I'm after spending, what would be a couple of million naira, a couple of thousands of euros, investing in this machine, getting them shipped over from China. I'm after spending this on this, and how much he spends on the food and the things and the different things he switched around in his house. And he's just breaking them down to me. And to anyone who's listening to that, it's like, whoa, like that much money. But lil-asaf al-shadid, my dad's was kind of reactive, right? Because certain changes happened in his health, etc. So where he now had to start, like, it demanded for him. Exactly. He had to start playing catch up. It demanded for him. The situation demanded for him to be more health conscious. Absolutely. And, alhamdulillah, my parents were never big into sugars, etc. as well. Maybe that's where my lack of appetite from it comes from as well. But all of these things, does that make sense? And that for me reinforced, like, rather than getting old and playing catch up, I should probably just make this a lifestyle, like you said.
Absolutely.
From now. And how many times do you see this in clients where they are playing reactive rather than structure?
Until they wait until the point where they get out of shape, they get fat, they lose self-respect, they lose confidence, and to then reach out to someone and seek help instead of doing it from the get-go.
And what do you believe is the reason why people do this? Why do they wait until what I refer to as crisis mode? When something really bad happens, when the doctor tells them, you have 10 years to live, or your blood pressure is up, or you're getting close to diabetes.
They genuinely believe that there's no correlation between their lifestyle and their health and their well-being and their performance in business. They think there's no correlation between the two. And that's what you teach in your Live by Design program, and that's also what I teach, is that there's a clear correlation in between the two.
I think anyone who can't see the correlation is an idiot.
Absolutely.
Like, I don't see how You know, I always say, entrepreneurs, it's all about output, right?
Yeah.
I don't see how an entrepreneur can sit there and think, like, it doesn't matter what inputs I have,
Yes.
and the inputs aren't going to affect my output. Like, you're putting in trash into your body, and you're expecting optimal performance for your body. And honestly, I want to expose the Dubai crew here. I have to get really real here. I was so astonished and disappointed when I seen the lifestyle, a lot of when I first landed here. You can let me know your thoughts since landing here as well.
Yeah.
When I first got here, like a couple of years ago, when I started coming here, and more so when I moved here fully, I was baffled with how certain individuals lived. Now, of course, certain guys are very optimized on alarm bag, very strict in terms of the diet, the performance, exercise, etc.
Most aren't.
Most aren't.
Most aren't.
Most aren't. And
Absolutely.
I was absolutely shocked.
Yeah.
I thought walking into Dubai, these would be the most health conscious, go to bed on time, you know, be careful of what they go into their body. I was left thinking I was back in ends.
I came to that realization where we're on that Morocco retreat,
Wow.
and I was surrounded by Muslim entrepreneurs, and I'm seeing none of them are health conscious. Didn't have a clue about sleep, about diet, about nutrition, training, none of that. And I was baffled. I was like, how do you guys have so much money? How have you guys been so successful in what you do, but haven't even reinvested it into yourself, into your own health?
Because I've noticed the correlation with this, and you can let me know how you think about this. Make loads of money, destroy your body making that money, and then spend all that money trying to make up for the destruction you did, right?
Exactly.
And trying to, every person who ever starts to make significant amounts of money is now trying to find like little health cheat codes, etc.
There's none.
There's none. Nothing can, and I'll be honest with you, it's just like, I always use the example of tooth, right? I actually had a very much sweet tooth when I was younger, but like I said, like my parents, as I got older, it's like slowly just,
Alhamdulillah.
yeah, it's almost gone completely. But I remember, subhanAllah, my teeth was always, because I used to eat a lot of sweets.
Okay.
Right, a lot of sweets, and like my back, the back of my tooth, like the teeth at the back, they're just like a lot of them I had cavities, I've had root canals, I've had you know, fillings. And I remember, subhanAllah, I always think to myself, like, I can never get those teeth back. Like now, alhamdulillah, I'm much older, cool. I have the money to pay for the different things, and you know, maybe X, Y, Z. I can get implants, etc., whatever. But it's not the same as your real initial teeth.
Never.
And this is what I want people to know, that a lot of the decisions you're making on day to day, they are irreversible. Sure, you can improve them, and you can, you know, get them better, or you can improve the standard. But once you get diabetes, you got diabetes. Sure, you can try your best to reverse it and, like, you know, deal with the negative consequences of it, but you'll never ever be able to get your body back to where it was had you taken care of it.
Absolutely.
And I think this is something that we need to tell people, that, like, if you wait till crisis mode, sure, we can improve you, we can optimize the way you're living, but there's certain things that are going to be irreversible, and you're going to have to deal for the rest of your life.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think it's that lack of understanding and that lack of knowledge that they have from the get-go is what's leading them to that point of...
And you know what? It doesn't even have to be that way. There's actually a way. And guys, I'm not just saying this to you guys. Go look at the client results. Go look at the case studies, as well as, I'm sure, Youcef and one of the clients we both work with, for example, Shems.
Yes.
Alan Bedek. I don't know if you've seen his face recently, Alan Bedek. Shems, I got on a call with him. I'm like, bro, you're looking clean.
Yeah.
It was Ak. I have Youcef. I have LBD. What more do you expect from me? He literally said it on the call. He says, my revenue is 3 times more than it was.
Yeah.
3 times.
Yeah.
Imagine I want every entrepreneur right now to just be conscious of this. Imagine your revenue just 3x's, like what that means for your business. And this was just him, you know, making certain changes in his lifestyle and being health conscious, exercising. He looks completely different.
Completely different.
Completely
You
different.
can tell from his face.
Yeah.
He's just not as puffy anymore.
Bro, I literally got on a call with him. I'm like, Alan Bedek, you look nice.
Yeah. He looks healthy.
You look like the eye bags are gone.
Yes.
He looks, I feel him when I'm talking to him now.
Absolutely.
You know, and subhanAllah, this is exactly my point. And I was like, yeah, Youcef is working some magic with you, Alan Bedek, right?
Alhamdulillah.
So this is, for me, this is crazy. And even the clients you work with, I was able to see, because a lot of them, I'm like, you know, when I started working with them, I'm like, you know, you're gonna need to take health seriously. And of course, we work with clients in their health, etc. But I always advise them, go get a coach, right? That I will actually walk you through and go to the gym with you, etc. Make life easy for you.
Absolutely.
And you know, and that's what I love with your training as well. It's not boring. I feel engaged. You know, I never really used to like training in the morning, to confess with you.
Yes.
And because in my mind, it's like, that's the time my brain is at its highest function. I want to preserve that for work.
Yes.
Right? But wallahi, bro, after I leave your sessions, bro, my mind is so switched on. I get the highest quality of work done. Allah in bed.
Because you're releasing endorphins when you're training. See, the problem is when you go to the gym and you're lifting weights, you're not sweating as much. Your heart rate is not as high. And you're not releasing as many endorphins as a result. So your productivity and your energy levels and your mood aren't going to be as high as after a training like the training that we do.
And I must admit, I do need to rest more. But it doesn't even matter because it's so much more effective when I'm working that I'm not even working as much as your training is, I'm not even going to lie to you, have probably one of the highest ROI things in my life. Like training with you has completely changed everything. And like I said, what I love about you is you're holistic. You know, you understand my goals as an entrepreneur. You understand what I do. You've understood my lifestyle, and you've catered my training around that rather than trying to cater my whole life and my whole business around your training.
Yes,
right, which is absolutely what I love. But yeah, I want to go on to the next side. Right, there's two sides of every game. I tell clients this, and one of the books, I can't remember the name of the book. It might be The Two Sides of Every Game. It might just be, but I think it's called The Game of Tennis. Right, and he's a tennis player, and he's talking about the two sides of the game. Right, now we play paddle, which is very similar to tennis, so I'm going to use the analogies. Right, I never knew anything about tennis before this book, by the way. I have to admit, and my knowledge on tennis comes from my knowledge on paddle. So if I say something wrong, I don't give a toss.
We're on the same page. We're on the same page.
So he talks about, obviously you have your technical skills, just like business, right? So you have your forearm, your backhand, you have your footwork. You know, you have your different things, the way you hold the thing. These are all the technicals of the game.
Yes.
And then you have your performance side, which is the mindset, the discipline. Likewise, I'm sure in fighting, you can, again, you have your jab, you have your lead hand, which is of course your jab. You have your strong, you know, your power shots, your footwork, you know, etc. And then you actually have the mindset, you have the performance side. And how many times, and this is where, especially in our program, when the first analogy we make in the program, funny enough, and I believe this is why we get on so well, is athletes and businessmen. The first analogy I make, the first thing I break down, when I'm breaking down how to understand performance, the first thing I talk about is athletes.
Absolutely.
Because why is it that we've seen so many times an athlete that is more technically gifted lose to an athlete that has better performance?
Yeah. Mindset. Mindset is massive. The fighter who has won, or the athlete who has gone in with a stronger mindset, who has worked on not only the technical side of things, but like you said, the performance side of things, is more likely to win against even the more technical fighter or the more skilled fighter or athlete.
And likewise in business. I can't tell you how many times, like, I'm not going to lie to you, like, you know, I remember I was sitting down with an entrepreneur, a fellow entrepreneur, and he's sitting down because we're very similar niches, right? And he's like, bro, how do you guys revenue, and you're doing a lot better than us. And for us, I'll be honest with you, your marketing isn't anything special. And I'll be the first to admit it. Our marketing isn't special. Nothing is special other than, alhamdulillah, our operations. We run tight operations. Alhamdulillah, we're good at building the systems and the frameworks, and our performance and our culture and our company. Those are the only two things. Every other technical thing, he's better than us, right? And I was just honest with him. I goes, bro, you have better technicals than me, and I'll admit it every day. But performance beats technicals, buddy, and that's where you can't beat me.
100%. Performing under the bright lights.
100%.
That's how it is.
And the truth is, guys, don't misunderstand me. I think technicals are important. I think people should try to optimize the technicals and grow the technicals as much as possible. But you have to understand that if you're not taking care of the performance side, the technicals don't matter, right? And I give the comparison. I'm going to mention 3 different situations so I don't lose the viewers here. Okay, so why is it that Ronaldo is either as good as Messi, better than Messi, or almost as good as Messi? All right, I always have to mention the 3 different. You can choose wherever you want, right? If, in my opinion, he's far better, right?
Same. We're on the same page,
But let's say he's as good, almost as good, or better, wherever you stand on. And we all can agree, even I can sit here and agree, as a guy who prefers Ronaldo, right? Messi is a far better, technically speaking.
Absolutely.
He's he's the best technical footballer I've ever seen. He's talented.
Yes.
And again, this goes back to performance beats technicals over time. Right? And I think even when people talk about the biggest basketball players like Michael Jordan, again, they say they weren't the most technically gifted in the sport.
100%.
They just had a different
Obsession.
mind. They had an
That's
obsession.
it. They had an obsession and a different mindset to the rest. That's what sets them apart from the rest.
100%. And this is exactly why I want to go into it, right? Because, we often say, like I said, the game has two sides. Can you explain what that means in the context of business and why it's important for businessmen to get good at these two sides? Especially, what are the sides of performance, right? I know you've mentioned mindset. Mindset is fast to every viewer watching. It's like, okay, mindset. Yeah. What is it, right? I know you mentioned something to me like, the ability to perform under pressure, all of these things.
Yes, of course. So what fighting actually teaches you is to perform even when you're tired, even when you're not feeling like it, to show up regardless. So the discipline that you build, that no matter what, you're going to get the work done and you don't stop until it is done. So that shift in mindset, learn to perform under the bright lights, is massive. No matter what's going on in your life, no matter what stresses you have with your family, with your wife, with business, you show up and you get things done regardless. The setbacks that you have, anything that goes on, you still show up and you get the work done.
Setbacks are guaranteed in business, right? Yeah. Things break, issues happen, maybe a key member of your team left. And for me, that's one thing, like fighting, bro, for me and training with you, it really teaches me, even when I'm tired, to use my mind.
Yes.
Because if I stop using my mind and I go to like stress response, I make a lot of mistakes, right? My footwork starts getting messy. Absolutely. My arms start, like I'm throwing tired shots.
Yes.
Whereas, if you just give me that killer mentality of like, even when I'm tired, just, you're tired, I'll punch that shoulder. Yeah. You better wake up, buddy.
Staying relaxed.
Exactly.
Staying relaxed under these high stressful situations.
Exactly.
When you're tired. When you've gotten a hit, maybe if you're in a sparring session where you literally, your mind is telling you, I can't keep going. Staying relaxed, staying switched on.
I love that.
And staying in the game.
I love that. I remember after some like session, like I'll make a mess up and you maybe you catch me in the ribs or you catch me in the chest. You're like, it's okay, keep going.
Yeah.
And
that shift in mindset.
Say it in such a relaxed, like you just done my liver. What do you mean it's relaxed? Like, you literally just hit my liver. It hurts. But you say it in such a relaxed way. It's like, it's okay, keep going.
Yeah.
It's just, it trains you. It's okay, keep going. Like sometimes, bro, I'm at war in business. I was like, it's okay, keep going. It's just, it smooths, you become relaxed under pressure. So, I absolutely love it, man. Like I said, just such a high I think. Now, okay, as a fighter, all right, how do you think, or do you even think about setbacks differently than an entrepreneur might? Or like we said, is it relatively the same?
So it depends on the entrepreneur. It depends on their mindset and the way that they think. I think you'll be fairly similar to the way I think. But setbacks are an opportunity for you to reflect, to analyze what went wrong, to assess the situation, make the necessary adjustments, and move forward.
Is it bad to say I love setbacks? Kind of love starting off on the back foot.
Yes.
All right, because I believe that's where you really become exposed.
Absolutely.
Right? And I think anyone can perform.
Underdog story as well. Everyone loves an underdog story,
I think everyone can perform when there's no pressure.
Yes,
right?
exactly.
But when there's everything on the line, how can you perform?
That's it. And when everything's going right, it's easier to perform.
Exactly.
But when everything's going wrong, the pressure's on you and you have to perform, can you deliver?
That's when it matters, right? So what does discipline, because I really hate the concept of just work harder and grind harder and hustle harder. I really hate that.
Yeah.
Right? Because that essentially what they're saying is, do anything to get to the goal, even if it means destroying your health, just grinding and grinding and grinding. This is something I disagree with, right? And you can let me know your thoughts on this, because for me, discipline isn't about just working harder and harder and harder and harder. I think logic is a huge aspect of that. And I believe entrepreneurs today have been fed this hustling thing, this David Goggins sort of mentality. And now in certain aspects, sure, I agree with it.
Absolutely.
But to live that way, it's like...
Yeah, you need to work smart as well. Not only hard, but you need to work smart.
Yeah.
Some people say work smarter, not harder. But you need to do both. You need to work smart and you need to work hard. Because there's people that are working smart and there's also people that are working hard. So you need to do both to be able to compete with both and beat both of those.
Yeah, it's almost like saying, I'm not going to prepare for a fight. I'm just going to go in and because I'm going to go longer than the other guy. It's like, no, if you're not smart and you're not tactical,
absolutely,
you will lose.
Absolutely.
And in saying that as well, even if you're smart and you're tactical, if you're not willing to go to the long run, if you're not willing to go when you're tired, again, you're still going to lose. So I love that.
Absolutely. And like you said, in fighting, there's a technical side, there's a physical side, and there's a tactical side. So the technical side is, like we said earlier, the skill set. Okay, having that really good technique. The tactical side is your tactics, your strategy for the fight, for the opponent. So how will you defeat him? And your physical side is you just being in great shape. Now, a lot of people have the physical side and they have the technical side, but they lack in the tactical side. And you can relate this to business.
You're right. Yeah. Well, I love that. That's beautiful. And it shows strategy is important, right?
Absolutely.
So when you work with entrepreneurs, right, and this is, like I said, now this isn't to put the brothers down. In fact, I would love any of the brothers from Dubai watching this to be like, think in their minds like, am I one of those people?
Yeah.
Right. And should I? Because I think what hurts me the most about the Dubai crew is like it's different from back home because you actually understand the potential and the caliber of these human beings. So it's when I look at it, it's not from an arrogant perspective. It's like a sad, disappointed, like you guys don't even know what you have inside you guys. Like why do you live like this?
And these are your brothers. You're trying to uplift them.
Of course, 100%. So I want to talk about. I was disappointed. I have to admit it. I was absolutely disappointed when I landed here. In the way they live, in the way they eat, in the way they sleep.
And I think it's got a lot to do with like the Dubai lifestyle.
Yeah. It's so funny because, and I love that you mentioned this, when you hear the results, we've been able to achieve, and I've seen along back the things we've been able to do. Like some of our clients, probably 3 to 10x in revenue.
Yeah.
People think we fix their ads or their marketing campaigns or, they think we work on their business. Wallahi, we just work on them.
Exactly.
We just work on them. Yeah. And it's crazy to think that you could 10x. And by the way, when we say 10x, we're not talking about clients that make like maybe $500 a month where you can 10x and he goes to 5K. Yeah. We're talking about guys who already make serious amounts of revenue, right? Yes. Like 100K, majority of our clients, 50 to all the way to 300K. Some clients even make millions. And again, they've seen increase in revenue, right? At the smallest with our clients, they tend to see a 3x. Now, why do people think that is? I tell people, we don't work on their business. Like sure, the only element we work on their business is like the operations and the team organization side, but that comes first on the founder. And this is what I want to tell clients. When you're, as a founder, when you're operating at a different ballgame, you're hungry, you're performing at your best. Imagine what that does, what energy that brings to the team. Your team becomes so much more effective as well. And I think this is what people need to realize, that the highest ROI thing you can work on and fix is yourself. Yeah. And this is why, wallahi, I will never negotiate on spending money on my health. I just won't. And call it crazy. I remember there's times I'm like, even yesterday, I'm like, bro, send me probiotics. I'm like, bro, please don't even give me a consideration in terms of cost. Just send me the best ones, right? I just want the best because I understand. I remember I was talking to one of my guys who actually talked to me about the probiotics. He was talking to me. He was asking you for them initially, and he was like, that's a bit pricey. Yeah. I'm like, consider the other things in your life you spend money on. Why would you not spend money that much more on your health? Your health gives to everything else. Fact. I don't know anything that I've seen that is more beneficial, right, in terms of getting you to where you need to be as like your health. And this is where I want to jump into, inshallah, coaching and entrepreneurship, right? Yes. And mentorship, sorry, right? What makes the difference in because we had a conversation about this, I think, was it the day before yesterday? Okay. We were driving home from Paddo. Yes. And I was talking to you about like a major difference, and I believe the coaching or consulting industry today, yes, sad because they serve and they don't, they sell and they don't serve. Yes. And I would love to hear your thoughts on this. What makes the difference between a coach who serves versus one who just sells? So the coach who sells is just looking for the next client. In my field, they're looking for the transformation picture. They're looking for a before and after, whereas a coach that actually serves is bringing real value to the client. He's bringing real knowledge and real wisdom to the client, and he's giving him a blueprint that he can implement and sustain year round. Not an 8-week transformation, not a 12-week transformation, something that he can genuinely maintain all year round. I want you to get deep here. Coach Youcef, and I want you to blow off some steam right now. Tell us what genuinely just annoys you about your field, the coaching industry. What genuinely bothers you, problems you notice that you see another coach and you're just like, you're an idiot. Tell us, give it to us. The bodybuilders, man. The bodybuilders, I swear to God, they give you an 8-week transformation plan, and it's intense cardio, 6 workouts a week, crazy intensity, and then you'll go back to that client 6 months after and they're back to square one. Wow. That's where the issue is. Wow. People are selling a crazy course to get the before and after picture. As soon as your membership is done with them, as soon as that course is done, you're back to square one.
That's what the issue is with the industry.
I'm not gonna lie to you. There's a coach I know, and you know the before after pictures he posts. I know a lot of their clients.
Yeah.
And I can tell you they live in the like worst way I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Like, and after they got the testimonial, it was like, okay, we're done.
Exactly.
But why didn't he maintain that lifestyle, right? And I think this is where, for us, by the way, we only judge the success of our clients 3 months after they finish LBD.
Yeah.
That's the key thing.
Absolutely.
Not while they were with us, but 3 months. We will say, mention the activation points, everything that they achieved while they were with us. But we judge success on how they're living 3 months after us.
Those are the real
That's
results.
what shows that's a result. That's a transformation.
Absolutely. Everyone can lock in for 6 weeks.
Exactly.
Everyone can lock in for 8 weeks. Can
100%.
just drag themselves through it, force it, and then you get your testimonial, you get the result, and then move forward.
100%.
But what impact did you genuinely have on their life apart from that 8 weeks?
Yeah.
Nothing.
100%.
That's it.
And I love that. You're so right.
And the same way you do, you need to track input, you need to track output, and review it weekly. Make the necessary adjustments and go ahead, go forward.
Barakallah feek. Barakallah feek. And what's a moment where you've seen coaching, maybe even with one of your clients, like it transformed someone's life in a way that even you perhaps didn't expect or they didn't expect?
Genuinely, Shems. Shems, who is also an LBD client, he's only been on board for a month, but I'm telling you, 3 times he 3x his revenue, and the improvement that he's made within that month are crazy, subhanAllah. And he's just laid the groundworks for the following months. Now that we've implemented the lifestyle habits and the changes that he needed in his life, the sky's the limit.
Allah barik. And I can swear by that testimony as well. Yeah. I promise you guys, it was just like, because I seen him in Dubai. That's when I was like, bro, go meet Youcef, etc. Go chill with him. Do a session with him, even if it's just one, because I know how it is. Anyone who does one session with you is game.
Yeah, they're hooked. That's it.
I remember even Ahmad, one of our LBD clients as well. I looked at I was like, yeah, this is just the guy I coach is Youcef, and he looks at me, and you know, me and Ahmad are quite red in nature, right? I would just like cut the BS, like just give me it, and I was like. He was looking for the nod of like, I know you're not gonna lotion it and gas it and turn it into something it's not. You tell me if it's not what it's.
Yeah.
He did one session. He actually did his session right before he came to me.
Yeah.
I was like, bro, you look hella fresh. What happened to you? I swear by Allah, I didn't know he'd done the session with you yet. I goes, you look hella fresh. He goes, yeah, bro. I seen you. I was like, yeah, I know. And this is why literally every client we have, especially that lives in the UAE, there's a reason I always push them to you. And it's wallahi, it's because I genuinely believe in what you do. And I've seen the results firsthand in myself. And I believe it greatly complements what we do as well. And I believe it's an essential thing. Every time I'm like, work with Youcef as well. Work with Youcef. Do it, Youcef as well.
And subhanAllah, when we were in Morocco, I was thinking the exact same thing. I was like, what you do and what I do goes hand in hand. Hand in hand.
Alhamdulillah.
You coach the whole performance aspect of things when it comes to the business, and you give them a bit of insight about their physical performance as well. And then I'm just focused and locked in on that holistic and physical performance side of things.
And that's what I love, man.
And people always think it's too intense and it's crazy and it's too much commitment. It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be. It works around you. Just like you said, it works around your lifestyle and your goals.
And that's what I love. I don't think there's any 2 clients I've seen you treat the exact same. It's like, okay, tell me what you want. Tell me what you care about, what you're not willing to cut out, what you're not willing. Like, you know, certain things you ask me, I'm like, bro, I don't like this.
Yeah.
And I'm never going to eat
Work
this.
around it.
Okay, perfect. Here's this other thing. You like this. It's exact same thing. It will give you the exact same benefits. You're like, no, otherwise you have to. You have to take this.
Yeah. Like most people in the industry, they'll have you on a strict, unrealistic diet for 6 to 8 weeks. You'll drop so much body weight. And like I said, as soon as you're off it, back to square one.
100%. And I love that. So guys, I think one of the best ways as well, just to give any coach and consultant listening, this is one of the few points I'm going to mention before we wrap up. Listen, I want you to consider something, okay? If you want your clients to achieve success, you need to spend time working on your product, right? You need to spend time working on your ability to deliver the things that you're giving as a coach, etc., and focus on serving every client you see in front of you. That's a human life. That's a way you could potentially change his life forever and improve his life forever if you focus on him.
Like you said, forever.
Yeah.
That's
Forever.
a crucial point.
Not for 6 weeks.
Exactly.
I can tell that annoys you.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, bless you. Right, so you mentioned Shems. He's a powerful example as well.
Yes.
Can you break his transformation down step by step?
Yeah, so
Give
his
the
life
viewers some game.
His life was pure chaos. Before he started working with you and me, us both. It was absolute chaos. His health was all over the place. He didn't know what he was doing when it came to diet. Didn't know what he was doing when it came to training. Zero discipline, no self-respect, lack of motivation, all of those. And they all go hand in hand.
Of course.
Because like I said, if you're neglecting your sleep, you're neglecting your diet, and you're neglecting your training, or you neglect one of the three, the other two are going to be suffering as well. So what we focused on with him is getting all of those three optimized. So we looked at his sleep. We looked at what he was eating on a day-to-day. We looked at how he was training on a day-to-day, on a weekly basis. And we assessed it. We made a few little tweaks and adjustments. And then we moved forward.
Allah barik. Allah barik. Nah, he's doing so much better. Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
And, beyond weight loss, aesthetics, which I know your clients do achieve as well, because
Of course,
I can tell
aesthetics is a knock-on effect. It shouldn't be the main goal. It shouldn't be the focus.
100%.
But as a result of looking after your sleep, your diet, your training, you're going to get in shape. You're going to look good.
Yeah, and I can say 100%, even aesthetically, before obviously I got a little bit sick, but, I put on so much mass, while I was working with you. It looked much better, even felt good, felt a lot better. But beyond those changes, such as weight loss, better feeling, what are some deeper changes maybe you've seen your clients experience, like some deeper ones?
Self-respect. I think self-respect is a big one. People don't respect themselves because they can't stick to a certain plan. They have no discipline. They have no structure to their life. They look in the mirror and they don't like what they see.
Right. And I suppose the last question I have for you is, if you could give one timeless principle to every entrepreneur listening, what would it be?
Prioritize your health. It's the simplest stuff that wins, yeah?
100%
Absolutely.
right. Yeah. So prioritize your health.
Yeah.
Put majority of your focus, your energy in your health. And I love that because, like we said, it is the most important thing. And just to mention the hadith of the Prophet, he says, فَإِنَّ لِجَسَدَكَ عَلَيْكَ حَقٍّ. Your body has a right over you. So may Allah bless you, bro. Listen, where can people reach out? If someone's actually ready to take their performance, their health seriously, start training. And I know you do work with clients online as well. So it's not just, stuck to the clients. It's not just reserved to the clients in UAE.
Yeah.
If someone's actually ready, and by the way, Shams is an online client and he's achieved those results.
Exactly.
So if someone is ready and they're like, you know what, we've watched the podcast, we've seen what Youcef was, we've seen what Stad Imran sees, Shams, everyone, Youcef is clearly the guy, he's the person I want to work with, what do they do? How do they reach
out to me on Instagram. Send me a DM. Tell me you're looking to work with me. There's an application link as well, an application form on my page. You can go on there, fill in your details. I'll reach out back to you and we'll get to work.
Bismillah ta'ala. Perfect. Wallahi, this has been amazing. I think, I'm even low-key thinking of turning this perhaps into one of the series on the channels. Because like I said, health and performance is going to be a big thing for us, inshallah. But yeah, bro, may Allah bless you. This has been good game, man. Alhamdulillah. And we're looking forward to the next session,
inshallah. It's tomorrow morning.
Bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. Bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. Khalas, guys, I hope you enjoyed the episode. Bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. Youcef's Instagram and everything will be linked down below. If you're serious about actually taking your health to the next level, prioritizing it, getting it to where you want it to be, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, it helping you in your business and in every other aspect of your life, click the link, inshallah, send him a DM, and he'll get you booked in, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, if you're qualified.
Absolutely.
May Allah bless you, bro. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. If you're a Muslim entrepreneur doing over 100K a month, you cannot scale using the same system that got you to where you are now. You need to upgrade yourself as a founder. This is the exact same thing we've done for all our clients, and they've been able to 3 all the way to 10x in revenue. So if you would like us to do the same thing for you, then click the link in the description down below now.